we go. Sorry, y'all. Okay, y'all probably can't see it, but I'm trying to keep this thing straight. Alright, put that right here. Okay. Alright. Let me see. Can I hear myself? Alright. Okay, hear myself. Perfect. Alright. Good thing here. What is good, everybody? This is your boy, Ginger That Dude, and we are back on some of my, the Great Journey. I was trying to think my own Rumble, but like I've already played enough of that to last a lifetime. Yeah, we're gonna do the Great Journey Chronicles Resolve, the Resolve 2. I think that's it. But yeah, last time where we left off, we figured out that Yasmin was, maybe capping along with a guy named Drebber. I think it was Enoch Drebber or something. Something along those lines, I don't remember. But yeah, we're going to find some evidence on deck and see what's going to happen. And my controller's about to drop, but it's fine. But all let's just keep it going. Oh, and we found Sato. Sato came at the last second and played that theme, and that theme's kind of fire every time I hear it, though. The Real Tower and Naruhodo theme's kind of fire. Baby rolling. 23rd of October, 2:41 p.m. Naruhodo's legal consultancy. Oh, this room. It's been too long. It hasn't changed in the slightest, though. And it's been some 6 months, hasn't it? That's a long time for things to stay so familiar. I didn't know when you might return, and I wanted everything to be as you'd left it. But it has been some 6 months. It's true. So is your father alright, Susie? What happened? My father? Yes, Professor Makatoba, I mean. It was half a year ago, but that's why he went back to Japan. It's a telegram you received saying he'd fallen ill with a very, high fever for some unknown reason. That's right. So I was surprised to learn you'd be coming back so soon. Surprised but happy. I think I wrote about it in my letter to you, that it was all a trick. Father's in fine health. I'm obviously very relieved about that. Well, we're all delighted to have you back. It's quite by accident that I've maybe returned to Europe, actually. It's because of a very grand conference called the International Forensic Science Symposium. The International Forensic? That's the same symposium Lord Trollcart mentioned. Anyway, I arrived safe and sound, and all that matters is that I'm here now. After all, I haven't yet fulfilled my promise to you, Iris. Oh. You must tell us everything that happened while you were back in Japan. Yes, of course. I shall. And there's one other thing. Something you wrote in your letter and that particularly, grabbed my attention. About you-know-who. About Cosmo. I know. I'll tell you all that I can. Alright, let's talk about Jezebel Brett first. Let's get out of the way. Jezebel Brett. The woman whose unforgivable actions ended in me being wrongly accused of a crime I didn't commit. The murder of Dr. John H. Wilson. Yes, Jezebel Brett. That's a name I won't forget for as long as I live. The extraordinary thing is, though, it seems it's a name we should all forget. Sorry? Since the incident, our government's intelligence services have been investigating Miss Brett. But it turns out that an Englishwoman by the name of Jezebel Brett didn't actually exist. That's not her name? I guess that makes sense. Wait, what if that has something to do with, what you call it? That the people needed to die. Like, cause I remember that thing from the very other thing or the other case, where like literally they said 4 days. Not her though, I don't think. But it was Cosma, Tobias Gregson, I think, or Gregson or something of the sort. Who else was it? I keep forgetting the other two. So I said Cosma. Obviously, Johnny Wilson. Oh, that's what I forgot. Gregson. That's what else. So maybe everyone needed to obliterate him for some reason or kill him for some reason. I don't really know at this point. I hope they tell us though. It didn't exist, but how could that be? It was a pseudonym. Her real name was Shin. And she wasn't a visiting student either. That was a front. Her name is Shin, bro. What? What kind of nonsense is that? Actually, you know what? Hey, can we do that reporter a favor? That reporter that killed her? Hey, look, congratulations, bro. You did actually one thing that actually make the plot decent. At this point. Oh, we got a Bohemian Boy. We got Bubba Salute, and then we got, we said the sign of the 4. Yeah, honestly, I forgot who the other person was. I forgot who the 4th person was. My brain kind of low-key forgot, but it'd be fine. So I remember the 3 at least, but I don't know the 4th one. A front? Who on earth is she then? Miss Aishin. Her name is literally all our intelligence services have been able to ascertain about her. Nobody knows why or even how she came to be in Japan. It's a complicated mystery. But that makes no sense. It's no easy test to be except as a foreign student anywhere. What could the woman have been up to? I'm afraid I really don't know. The only thing we can be sure of is that she had some business in our country that we don't yet understand. That's fair. And now she's been killed, while all the questions surrounding her existence remained unanswered. I'm afraid so. Aishin, who on earth was she? And why do I feel as though I've heard that name before somewhere? Wait, wait, was that supposed to be her name? Wait, was that supposed to be the other person's name? The Shen person? I don't remember. But we ballin' though. We ball though. Lord Hart mentioned something about that symposium too. I think he said that investigative authorities from 40 different countries would attend. Yes, and for Japan, my father and Judge Jigoku have been invited. It's something of an honor, I believe. Well, Professor Mikotoba is the leading expert in forensic medicine in our country, after all. But who's the other person you mentioned? A judge, did you say? Yes, His Excellency, Judge Seshiro Jigoku. You met him, Mr. Naruhoda, last year in the Supreme Court. You can't possibly have forgotten. That terrible trial of yours, when you were accused of murder. Ah, yes. I try to think of that as a positive, turning point in my life these days. Well, it was Judge Shikoku who presided over that trial. If I'm perfectly honest, I'd happy not to see that man's face again in my life. Oh, well, anyway, as father was invited to the symposium, he agreed to returning to Britain too. He won't actually arrive until next month, but, well, I couldn't wait. So I pleaded with him, and in the end, he agreed to me going on ahead. Yes, about the symposium. It seems as though Lord Strongheart has put in an awful lot of work to make it happen. It's obviously very important. I believe it is, yes. As I understand it, Lord Strongheart organized the entire event himself. I think he's hoping that by achieving exceptional results, he'll get the job of the Attorney General, the most senior position in the British justice system. He's hoping to use his power to create the world's finest policing institution. That's what Father said anyway. Apparently it's Lord Strongheart's lifelong ambition. Hopefully he doesn't kill for it. Does Professor Mikotoba know Lord Strongheart personally then? I wonder? Actually, Lord Trongard gave me a long speech about this very subject only yesterday. But I sort of lost the will to live early on and didn't really listen to much of it. How trying for you. Well, I mean, he said 200 different things. He said 200, like, reasons. You think I'm listening to the 200 reasons of why you think you need to be this? At that point, go ahead and be the president at this point. When I first arrived back in Japan, I really thought I'd never be allowed to return to Britain. But curiously, after that awful trial at the Supreme Court, Father's mood changed entirely. The awful trial? Oh yes, for the murder of Jezebel Brett. Oh, you dressed as a man then, didn't you, Susie? Oh, well, yes. Since women are forbidden in the courtroom, I had no choice. That's fair, that's fair. Wow, amazing. I wish I had seen it. Don't you, Bruno? Yes, I suppose so. I want to play at being a lawyer now. I can wear a false mustache, maybe. I don't think any mustache could hide the fact that you're just 10 years old, Iris. There's something else I've been wanting to ask you, Mrs. Sato. It's about the real reason why Professor Mikotoba summoned you back to Japan. You said in your letter it was something to do with that convict's loot we found in Mr. Natsume's lodgings. That's right. The very large doll collar we found with the B emblem on it. It seems Mr. Natsume's included a drawing of the collar in the report he submitted about his time in Britain. Understand that when Father saw the report, he turned as white as a sheet. Why would that be then? Father came to Britain himself, of course, to study. It was some time ago now, but he stayed for 6 years. I can only imagine that something must have happened during that time. But if he refuses to tell me what it is, then I intend to find the answers myself. And I've decided that I, for one, won't keep any more secrets. Oh, Susie! That's a very meaningful look Susato-san's given Iris there. After my friend Ray's trial, the reporter who actually killed Miss Brett said something very strange. I know the truth. I know you had a hand in what went on. And that visiting student's fate! Nobody here in Japan knows anything about it. They don't know that the guy never made it to England, that he died on a steamship, and that he'll never. Obviously, I couldn't ask him to elaborate at the time. But later, I visited the man in his prison cell and asked him what he was going to say about Kazuma-sama. What did you learn? After he died on the voyage to the Great Britain, his body should have been unladed at the port of Hong Kong and passed into the care of the consulate staff there. Should have been. Well, it turns out that his body never arrived. Don't tell me that man's alive, though. Which, honestly, it would make sense if he's alive, because I really don't think you should be knocked down over a bed thing. But it wouldn't be, I wouldn't be mad about that, though. So, that is an interesting thing. Unless someone just threw the body and said, nah, let that body be dead. It's just disappeared. What? Kazuma's body vanished? Our government tried to cover the fact up. Seems they rented a grave on the cliffs by our hometown. Except Kazuma-sama isn't there. Did Professor Mikotoba know about this? Yes, it would seem that he did. But he didn't tell me. They're still investigating on what happened to Kazuma-sama's body as we speak. I just don't believe it. And what is this acute feeling of apprehension I have all of a sudden? Thinking back now, some of the things that happened on the SS Bureau were definitely strange. I mean, after he died, we never saw his body again, did we? Could it be that he's actually still alive? Stop it, Mr. Naruhodo. It's too much to bear. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Just thinking about the possibility pains me so very much. He could have been. Cast your mind back for a moment, Naruhodo. When Kazuma-sama was discovered, Mr. Sholmes was there, wasn't he? And he definitely examined the body. I remember it clearly. You're right. So if Kazuma hadn't actually been dead at all, it would have been Mr. Sholmes had lied to us. Yeah, seems like he would have lied about that. Dude, if you see his personality now, that dude is capping and not even wanting to say anything. So yeah, I'm assuming that Mr. Sholmes lied, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. But there's no reason why he would possibly have done such a thing. Dude, if he's working with the government, I have my fair share of, hopes and doubts that, he probably would. It's Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes be doing anything he wants to at this point. So it goes either way with that one. I suppose that's true, yes. And he probably would lie about that. No offense though, but he probably would lie about that. Alright, get rid of that. We don't need that one charging. Alright. Let's see, what about you? Give me a second. I'm trying to put this other thing in the charger. Can this thing... Are you serious, bro? Is this charger thing gonna go in here? Okay, now I don't need to charge. Okay, maybe this one needs to charge then. Okay, get that thing out. Alright, can this thing we put in the charger, please? There we go, perfect. That one's charging. Alright. The idea that he might still be alive somewhere. It wants to fill me with hope, but I can't let it. But if it turned out not to be true, then I'd be back at the bottom of that awful pit of despair again. I'm terrified of what that might do to me. Oh, Mr. Sato. I know she's given the idea the thought it deserves. It's Susato-san we're talking about, after all. So I probably shouldn't push it now. Susato, do you see this? You have a great expectation in your eyes, Mr. Naruhodo, but I'm afraid nothing particularly useful comes to mind. Oh, sorry. I'm not sure what I was expecting. Alright, let me just show her random stuff. Oh, there you go. This was used to shoot down the balloon, wasn't it? Yes, with a flaming arrow. It's quite a formidable weapon. I'm quite accomplished with the longbow myself, you know. No, really? If you were to balance an apple on your head, Mr. Naruhodo, I'm quite confident I could hit it from a good 50 meters away. Quite confident, you say? Does the apple necessarily have to be on my head? About this paper, Mrs. Sato. Yes, it's all about the Great Exhibition. I've been dreaming about it, you know. I was sorry that you were going to miss it when you were called back to Japan. So was I. I felt desperately unlucky. But here I am, back in London while it's underway. It's a dream come true. Perhaps you're not as unlucky as you thought then. Once we felt Professor Hairbrain out with this terrible situation, we all should explore it together. And of course, we must invite the Professor's good friend, Lord Van Zeek, as well. Your luck might not stretch that far. I guess show him the armband, then we can leave. You're still taking good care of that armband, I see. I'm so pleased. Well, yes, it feels like I wouldn't be me without it now, to be honest. Oh dear, there seems to be a thread coming loose just there, look. I'd be only too happy to mend it for you, Mr. Naruhodo. Oh, thank you. Must have scrapped it against something again. Always doing that. Then take better care of it, please. It was all going so well until I ruined it. Inside their clock there. Let's just see if she says something about this. Yeah, nah, she don't know about that. I mean, she knows a little bit about some things. Okay, does she care about ODS men? Maybe. I'm just asking ahead of time. If she doesn't care about them, okay, good to know. Does she care about this? Okay, she doesn't care about that either. Gotta ask. Alright, anything else I need to worry about? I'm thinking about? Alright, let's go. I'm dipping out of there. What if we can't move out? Oh. It must be about a year ago now. I wrote a really long story based on some of my father's old notes. It's about one of Hurley's greatest exploits. I called it The Hound of Baskervilles. But then Mr. Sholmes forbade you from publishing it, and put the manuscript somewhere no one can get their hands on it. So nobody knows anything about it, apart from Hurley and I. But for some reason, you knew the title of it, didn't you, Susie? Oh yeah, you should be telling her about that. Oh, it sounds so exciting. The Hound of Baskervilles. I should love to read it. Oh yeah, that is true. And you wouldn't tell me how you'd come to know it. Yes, but I made you a promise that I would explain one day, didn't I? There you go. I think it's time. Thank you. That's what I was going to say. You might need to do that. Oh? I'm only sorry I've had to keep it from you for so long, Iris. Alright, let's go. It was completely by accident that I came to know the title of your manuscript, Iris. It was only a short while before we left Japan. I was cleaning Father's study, and I saw something on his writing desk. A large box of papers. There was a label affixed to the box that was written in English. It read, The Hound of Baskervilles. What? My Baskerville story? Of course, I had no idea what it was at the time. Father came in and... Susato, what are you doing? Oh, Father. Did you look at those papers? No, I simply read the label, that's all. Well, put it out of your mind. Sorry? Forget that you ever saw it. And certainly don't tell anybody else about this. Do you understand? But what was Iris' manuscript doing in Japan? I have no idea. Hold up, let me ask, was this before or after Jezebel committed the murder? But when I heard Iris mention the word Baskerville that day, the title just slipped out. I would have never had guessed. That was an unpublished account of one of Mr. Sholmes' exploits. When I returned to Japan, I asked Father to explain, but he refused to answer any of my questions, and there was no sign of the big box in his office. That's really all I know about it. Excuse me. I have no doubt about that Father had a very good reason to be so secretive about it, but still, I made up my mind to explain myself to the both of you. Well, thank you for being so honest, Susie. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I'm ready to start investigating if you are. I've committed every detail about the case to memory. And Iris had told me about the disturbing happenings at the Waxwork Museum as well. So, you're fully abreast of the situation already. Mrs. Sato, I expect nothing less, to be rather frank and honest. I would think our first port of call should be to investigate this Mr. Drebber. Indeed, and who just texted me about something? Give me a second. Someone... There we go. Someone did this. There we go. Alright. The engineer responsible for building the elaborate machine that was used to effect this extraordinary trick. Yes, a conjurer of sorts, by the sound of it. Well known in the field of sciences, well, fields of science and magic. Do we need to go and arrest him? Well, yes. He must know the truth behind this case, so I agree we really do need to find the man. It sounds like a case of tracking someone down. It's a job for the police, or a great detective. Are we supposed to guess who she might be thinking of? We don't have much time, so we need to get started straight away, I think. Good idea. Well, best of luck then. Oh, you're not coming today? I'm going to Brixton Road shortly for the herb market. But let me know later how you got on, won't you? That was a little abrupt. The pull of the herb market must be strong. Let's do this real quick. Thinking back, that spade's been in here when we first moved in, hasn't it? I'm sure I've told you before, Mr. Nahoda. It's not a spade, it's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose materials. It's a spade. No, spades are for digging. That's for scooping up loose materials. It's a shovel. The Great Spade Shovel War rages on. It definitely will roar on into the days of death and the brink of destruction itself. Who else is texting me about some nonsense? Okay. Okay, we know what to do. Let's just go to the Shome Suite real quick. 23rd of October, Shome Suite. Okay, let's see. Did she put any new things up here with this? If I remember correctly, this large imposing lump of iron is called a typewriter. To think that every single one of the adventures of Sherlock Holmes blossomed from this very machine. Ah, it's such a dreamy thought. I actually had a go on it the other day. Metal bars that moved when you hit the keys got all tangled up somehow, and that made Iris angry. Mr. Nahoda, you're ruining my dreamy thoughts. Please don't do that again. Now I made Susato-san angry as well. I think we either need to go to the Justice, or do we need that? What? Let's go to Madam Two Spells. Maybe that might be what I need to do. 23rd of October, Madam Two Spells. Oh my, no wonder it's called the House of Horrors. I'd like to turn on my heels and go straight home via the confectionery. Being scared makes you crave sweets? I can understand that. I was looking forward to a reunion after 6 months away, but there's no sign of Mr. Sholmes anywhere. That's strange. He should be here investigating the abduction of the Westward. Oh well, I suppose we come back later next one. I thought he was gonna be right there, like doing the little thing, like. Ah, there's a stepladder there. Look. Oh, yes, stepladder. I think perhaps we should let the proprietress know that someone left it out. The stepladder, I mean. Is something wrong? Why do I feel as though I just managed to sidestep an argument? Hey, perfect. I guess technically you could. Okay, I guess they said yeah, no, shut up. They gave me an achievement though. But hey, I mean, I guess we're good. Okay, I guess we can go to... Okay, 23rd of October. British Supreme Court. Lord Chief Justice's office. I see a lady over there in the stands, and I see a strong card over there. Oh, Who's that standing beside Lord Strongheart? I wonder. I've never seen her before. And is it her too? Is that what the lady y'all talk about? She looked at it, she had a little There you go. Ah, the young champion of the court. We had some success this morning, I understand. And you've thrown the entire government in disarray as a result. Oh. You mean because of Professor Harebrain's experiment? Sham science being demonstrated at London's great exhibition. The country's been made to look foolish. Now politicians are scrabbling to respond. Lord Van Seeks is in the Whitehall as we speak, giving an emergency briefing. Oh dear, I didn't mean to cause any trouble. None of this is your responsibility. The government is entirely to blame for having been taken in. The special dispensation that prevents investigation at the scene will be annulled later today. Once that happens, my forensic investigation team will move in and deal with the scrap metal in no time. Scrap of metal now, is it? Oh, that's okay. Okay, how do I make her voice though? Because like this is a new character. Until later then, Lord Strongheart. Yes, thank you. We're gonna have to make something along those lines. Who was that? That was Dr. Courtney Scythe, Scotland Yard's esteemed chief coroner. She's leading the forensic investigation team handling of this case. She was just delivering her report about the victim, in fact. Oh, I see. About Mr. Asman. Following the outcome of the trial error, I asked the coroner office to reevaluate its findings. I don't have the time to tell you what she concluded. If you want to know, you'll have to ask her directly. You can find her in the forensic laboratory. Alright, can you tell me where that's at? Now, what were you here to see me about? I can give you 7 minutes and 39 seconds of my time. So he's not running quite so spectacularly late anymore. Oh crap. Can this thing move a little bit when I tell it to move? Dang. Okay, so we have forensics, this, and then this. Alright, let's go about the forensic investigation team and then we'll make our way there. If we need to do more information, we can go up there and do the other thing for it. But let's go. What exactly is the forensic investigation team that you mentioned before? The British Empire's police force must become the most exemplary in the world. For that to happen, it's imperative that we embrace forensic science and everything it has to offer. I first created the forensics investigation team a year ago now, unofficially of course, to pave the way. Goodness, a year ago? At next month's symposium, my apologies. Alright. I intend to present the results of their work to the world. Once I do that, the House of Lords will be powerless to oppose the creation of a full-scale forensic division. And once that happens, the position of Attorney General will be mine, and criminals will suffer dearly. What do you mean? For too long, those scoundrels have made a mockery of our legal system, with false evidence and bribes. But London's scum is about to be rounded up and burnt into the fires. I intend to see to it personally by creating the finest police force the world has ever known to protect our honor and our future. Look at those eyes. He means every word. And I wouldn't be mad about either way. Dr. Scythe is an extremely reliable coroner. When I officially established the forensic division at Scotland Yard, I probably just gotta run. Yeah, alright. She will run it as my right-hand woman. And she's loyal too? You know about that? Yeah. Now then, speaking of symposium, Miss Mukatoba. Oh, yes, my lord. Your father should be on the high seas as we speak, making his way here to represent the Empire of Japan. Yes, that's right. I understand he will arrive at the beginning of next month. Are you acquainted, Lord Trongard? With Professor Mukatoba, I mean. You're yapping a little too much there, buddy, but it was many years ago now, but yes, I remember Dr. Mukatoba very well. If my memory serves, it was some 15 years ago now that your father came to Britain as a visiting student. It was that year I was born, so yes, 16 years ago in fact. Mukatoba was a young practitioner of forensic science, and Jigoku accompanied him as a young promising judge. The punctiliousness of politeness of the Japanese at the time impressed us greatly. But what kind of name is punctilious though? I don't know how it is. Not that I wish to imply impoliteness or carelessness on your part in any way. I didn't think that you were. Dr. Mukatoba studied forensics at one of London's large hospitals. St. Sinners, if I'm not mistaken. Dr. Scythe was also there then, as it happens. Then Dr. Scythe knows my father, does she? She was a young medical assistant at the time, so I doubt their paths crossed regularly. But I've no doubt they knew each other superficially. After all, Dr. Mukatoba was here studying his subject for some 6 years in total. 6 years, that's a long time to be studying abroad, isn't it? I lived with my grandmother in those years. So he left his newly born daughter behind and went overseas for 6 whole years? It was a rather turbulent time at home. Oh, perhaps father wanted a reason to get away. What do you mean? Why? Well, clearly something was going on at the time. I wanted to ask you about Lord Van Zeeks, actually. I heard that his older brother was killed some years ago by a mass murderer known as the Professor, targeting nobles and royalty. Is that right? You Japanese are a thorough lot. You've done your research well. Yes. And you could say it was that very incident that gave rise to the Reaper. What? Why? When his brother, Clint Van Zeeks, was murdered. It was just after young Barrack had graduated from the University of London and became a prosecutor. When obvious criminals who managed to evade convictions in court started disappearing, rumors quickly spread throughout the capital. Londoners started to say that wherever Barrack Van Zeeks went, the ghost of his dead brother wasn't far behind. Oh my word! So, Lord Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper, it's the ghost of his brother? Ever since that time, he became a very aloof figure in London's legal circles. Oh yes, Lord Strongheart. Go ahead. It's about Professor Harebrain's experimental machine. We'd like your permission to examine the remains, if possible. Are you well versed in science, then? Not in science, in fact. You could say I was barely aware of the subject until recently. Well, the special dispensation legally preventing the investigation of the machine is currently being annulled. Within a few hours, Dr. Sykes' team of forensic experts will begin their own investigation. I suppose until then, there's no harm in you looking at the wreckage, as long as you touch nothing. Thank you. Being able to look at it is better than nothing. And I'll be able to see it too. Your time is up. You'll have to excuse me now, I'm afraid. My next engagement calls. We are extremely sorry to have troubled you when you were so busy, my lord. I have important matters to attend in the preparations for the symposium, you understand. Well, yeah, I probably would leave anyway. A new location, bro. What new location? Are they talking about the experimentation stage, or like what do? Oh, the forensic lab. Yeah, we probably need to just go to the forensics laboratory. I forgot about that. That's where Courtney's site's supposed to be. 23rd of October, forensic laboratory. I believe this is it. Dr. Site's laboratory. Which, how did we even figure out where it was at? It's not like they told us where it was at. That chemical smell really assaults the nose. There's plenty to assault the eyes in here, too. It looks as though the doctor isn't here. But we're here now, so we might as well do some sightseeing, don't you think? What a seasoned tourist you become, Mr. Sato. We could just have a look around. Be careful not to upset any restless souls. How is she not here, though? Okay, let's just see some stuff. Let's just look around some stuff. A table of... my bad. A table and a set of sharp tools. When you consider each in isolation, it all looks quite innocent. So why is it that when you put them side by side, they seem so horribly disturbed or disturbing? It might be best not to ponder it too deeply. Seeing the large tome that's opened the desk does make me wonder, though. How can anybody concentrate on bookwork with this acrid odor of chemicals in the air? You either have to be a cast iron constitution or a really terrible sense of smell. Look at all the bottles on the shelves, these cabinets. What an assortment of chemicals. These ones here are labeled highly toxic. That's worrying because there's also things that look like salt and pepper shakers in here there. Oh yes, and they actually say salt and pepper on them. The doctor probably spends a lot of time in this room, I suppose. Perhaps she has meals here sometimes. Life goes on, even when you're surrounded by death. Well, look at this. What a magnificent display case. The cherry wood has been polished to a high sheen, and the intricate carving is a joy to behold. Western cabinet markers, or makers, as they say, really are very skilled, aren't they? Do you have nothing to say about the skeleton inside, Mr. Naruhodo? Like, really? Mrs. Sato? Can't you tell I'm trying very hard to avoid talking about the terrifying contents of the case? It's how I cope. I'll be sure to remember that from now on. Like, come on now, like, there's reason why they say that, alright? That looks like an owl and a crow up there. Indeed it does. I know, and they haven't even twitched since we came in here. Well, no, they wouldn't have. They're taxidermy mounts, Mr. Naruhodo. I was afraid you were going to say that. I've been trying very hard to tell myself they're just sleeping with their eyes open. Yeah, I think perhaps you were wise to put something like your Dharma doll on display in the office instead. I suppose this is Dr. Site's desk. I would not like to work in a place like this. It's very tidy though, isn't it, Ms. Naruhodo? Imagine how efficiently she must work. The lighting is poor, which is bad for the eyes, and the chemical smell can't be good for you. Not to mention the skeleton watching over you as you work, which is definitely bad for the nerves. Well, yes, those are valid concerns, I suppose. I could just about cope with a one-eyed Dharma doll watching over me, but that's all. Look at this big thick book here. And it appears to be a counting ledger. It records of the forensic investigation team spendings, I think. Oh, what is it? It's clear that the team purchased various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but, well, one entry seems rather strange. Really? In what way? They're buying 500 scalpels every month. 500? They must be really working hard on the site dissecting corpses. I don't know. Judicial autopsies are only carried out in certain special circumstances. And scalpel blades can be sharpened too. It does seem a bit strange. You're right. 500 scalpels a month? What could it possibly be? I can't even see that thing. I guess that's the girl though. What are you doing? Ah! Alright, we got the baby girl Courtney's site. Alright. Sorry, we had something we wanted to ask you about, but you weren't here, so. So you thought you'd snoop around? That's acceptable to you from the east, is it? Well, what do you want? Lord Trongard told us, you see, that it was you who examined the victim's body. Mr. Asmon's body, I mean. So we came to ask you about your findings on Lord Strongheart's advice. Very well. If the Lord Chief Justice has given his consent, I'll tell you what our investigation revealed. But when we're done, you must leave immediately. I don't know how to feel. I think I gotta hear that theme a little bit. But I don't think she's gonna listen to anything I say. Dr. Scythe, would you be good enough to take a look at this? Oh, you think I'm good enough, do you? Oh, brother. Why did he have to say that? And why does he have to take offense to that? No. I didn't mean... So I'm not good enough in that case. Why would you show me anything? Clearly you're too good for me to show you anything again, ever. Alright, just skip. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie, you can't please everyone. You can't please everyone, bro. Like, you can't please anyone. You just don't. Okay, so I can't just give you I can't show you nothing? You just don't like anything? I feel like if I show this, she could be like, I'm not ready enough for your armband. Then she just throws my armband in the trash where it belongs. It's gonna suck. We balling, I guess. All right. So you want to know what the forensic investigation team determined from its examination of the scene? The victim, Mr. Odie Asmon, who disappeared from the experimentation stage amid an explosion, and the Mr. Asmon, who appeared moments later partway up the Crystal Tower, were without question one and the same person. That is the team's conclusion. But that can't be right. If it was an elaborate trick, we could only speculate about how it was carried out. Let's see, if the two people who looked very similar to each other were involved, they could have made it appear as if one single person had switched places, couldn't they? Very true, but sadly in this instance, that was not the case. The man who disappeared and the man who subsequently reappeared was the same person. The fingerprints at the scene make it that quite evident. Ah, fingerprints. They're not yet officially recognized as forensic evidence in the British justice system. Okay, that's fair, I can't be mad about that, that is true. But one day, they will be used as an investigative aid as a matter of course. Indeed, I agree, I think it would be nice to have that. So I will agree with that, Scythe. Or Courtney. Oh my, but that would mean that the instantaneous kinesis actually took place. So, where does that leave us? My team was tasked with investigating, not drawing conclusions. Instantaneous kinesis is impossible, yet the body did move from one place to another place. This hasn't cleared anything up at all. It made the whole thing even more of a mystery. I don't know who this is. Why did I do 2 girl voice acting? Come on! I'm dying here. Mama? Who is this? What is this? Well, where did she spring from? Did she call the doctor Mama? This is a lawyer, dear. Oh. Hello. Nice to meet you. And pleased to meet you. Yes, I'm a defense lawyer. Ryunosuke and our hope. Mama, why are you talking to me? Yes. Can I cut this one up? What? I've never seen the inside of an Eastern person before. I want to know what it looks like. Of course you can't. It's a live specimen, as you can very well see. Is this the part where I run before she chases me down like the ends of Earth? Like a chocolate would be said? Boring. I think I just had a near-death experience. Oh dear, Mr. Naruhodo. You're as pale as a corpse. Then let's leave before I'm mistaken for one. I'm not gonna lie. He's like, nah, can I cut him up? You can. He's alive. I think I need to get out of here. Yeah. Ma'am, have a good one. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna dip out of here. I'm gonna go to prison so I don't get bodied up and mistaken as a corpse. 23rd October, local prison, cell 1. This man is, well, question. Can he get in trouble for that? For actually writing chalk on a prison cell? Or they would have been like, hey, yo, clean this up. Some nonsense like that. What's he doing? He's, oh my, the whole wall of the cell is covered in mathematical equations. And he's still writing more now. Professor, sorry to interrupt. Oh, Mr. Naruhodo. Who is this young lady? Is this your girlfriend or something? My name is Susato Mikotoba. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor. Oh, if only I'd met a refined young woman like you sooner. None of this would have happened. No, that's not logical. That makes no sense at all. Oh dear, I'm sorry if my presence here upsets you. I owe you an apology too, Professor. I didn't manage to deliver what I promised to you I would in court this morning. Oh no. The whole miserable affair. It all happened because I've been such a complete and utter clout. Professor Hairbrain, what have you been working on in your cell? Oh, you mean that? Oh dear, how embarrassing. I was suddenly struck by an idea, you see. And I simply had to write it down. The wall was all I had to hand. Oh, is it some new hypothesis? Something to surpass, super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, maybe? No, actually, this is my autobiography. Your autobiography? How I was diddled and fiddled by Albert Hairbrain. I found I could represent my odd fortunes with only odd numbers in an ambitious set of simultaneous equations. Really? That sounds kind of crazy. I'm gonna have to pay back all the loans I've took for the kinesis machine, you see. So it's gonna be a new serial publication for the next month. Part 1, An Odd Birth, An Odd Upbringing. You can't beat the man's optimism, that's for sure. I see. Well, for now, would you mind if we talk a little more about the case? There we go. Oh, yes, yes, of course. I've been working through the numbers. I was fiddled by the part of them, the pair of them, Basman, and by that aloof engineer, Trevor. We're not going to have to sit through an explanation of all these equations, are we? I'm gonna get this water real quick. I'll give me a second. Let me not. Okay, hold up. Let me not. That thing tingled in my foot. I guess let's go with the beginning and go from there. Let's go ahead for it. Everything I believed in has been turned on its head. My research, Mr. Asmund, the kinesis machine, my hypothesis even. I'm sorry it's come to this. There was really no other way. No, it's not your fault. I wanted to protect my work, but in the end, there was nothing worth protecting. It was never in my intention to deceive anyone. I didn't want to trick the public. No, of course you didn't. But in court this morning, I realized something. Oh, Oh? If you've done something wrong without knowing it, you've still done something wrong, logically. It makes no difference if you're aware of it or not. Ignorance is a poor excuse. The blame still lies with me. Oh, Professor. He believed in me this morning, you know. Barrick did. He believed in my hypothesis. Well, I think that was just a necessary factor in the prosecution established in its case. No. Barrick wouldn't do something like that. I'm sure he genuinely believed it. Did he? I think I understand now. Why it was that he decided to take on the prosecution in my trial, I mean. After the terrible accident happened, no one would believe in my hypothesis anymore. Not the police, not the prosecution service, not even any lawyers, even. I feel like I dealt with some kind of finishing blow there. So if any other prosecutor had taken the case, if it would have been anyone other than Barrick, I'm sure the prosecution would have declared my hypothesis a complete and utter nonsense. And in that case, you wouldn't have been declared a fraud yourself, Professor. Exactly, which would have been a fate worse than death for me. Barrick insisted that I, a proper man of science, start from finish. You think that's why he... I know him very well indeed. He was an extremely kind-hearted soul. But that extremely kind-hearted soul spent all morning trying to paint you as a murderer, didn't he? Well, admittedly, that part of the analysis appeared to have some flaws in it. And what about the whole Reaper side of things? How's that fit in the whole kind-hearted soul idea? Do you think he set out to trick me from the very start? Indeed he did. I'm sorry to say, that does sound and seem likely, yes. When I first met him, he introduced himself as a wealthy financier. It sucks. Why I gotta yell every time I talk? Sorry, I just probably feel bored having to read everything. He looked over the paper and I'd written. It said my work would benefit all humanity and must be pursued. He was so enthused. He was so empathetic. But in reality, he was the mastermind of some vast criminal network, it seems. I still can't believe it. As the machine was essentially a set decoration for some stage magic. Probably didn't require a large amount of investment, actually. But the scale of it, it wasn't just some small trick. It was a very elaborate feat of deception. All young scientists are full of hope about their burgeoning ideas, full of zeal. But none of us have any money. We want to do research, but we can't afford it. Many of us take on barely legal part-time work, try and earn a few, a few measly pennies to carry on. To go through all that, only to be taken for a complete fool, is too rotten to believe. It is, I agree. And that's why we have to find those responsible and bring them to justice. Mr. Asman is no more, of course, which leaves only the engineer. Mr. Enoch Drebber. Is he an engineer, or a magician, or a swindler? It was about a year ago Mr. Asman first brought Drebber to meet me at the laboratory. Since then, I've met him many times to discuss details about the kinesis machine. But at no point did you have an inkling that he was just an illusionist? Oh, he definitely wasn't just an illusionist. What do you mean? He was a wealth of deep scientific knowledge. There's no question that the man's a genuine scientist. Instantly apparent in conversation. I see. But the regiment deceived you, Professor. It's unforgivable. We must do everything we can to find him and bring him to justice. Are there no more clues that you can give us about his whereabouts? There we go. I'm sorry. We only ever discussed the kinesis machine. Nothing else. Although, just one. I did visit his workshop. What workshop? Drebber's enormous fabrication laboratory, where he constructed my great machine. Why didn't you mention this before? Not Drebber's workshop. There's every chance we might find the man there. So you've been to Drebber's place of work then? Yes, just once. You understand. It was an enormous place. Plenty of room to construct the kinesis machine, you see. Where can we find it? We have to go there at once. There's a good chance that we'll find, Drebber there. That man is out there biting that thumb. He's like, I don't want to go. I don't want to get cooked. Well, yes, definitely. I'm sure. I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this. But I have absolutely no idea where the workshop is at all. I'm so sorry. I was more than half expecting that. You see, I was blindfolded in the carriage the entire way there. He blindfolded you? He wasn't taking any chances then. The place is incredible. The pinnacle of modern engineering. Even the oil he used was the very best. A special French machine oil that is possible to obtain in Britain. The indescribable scent of the imported oil. Perfumers across the world should forget their secret formulae and use that instead. What do you think, Mr. Sato? In the machine for your next birthday? I've never used any kind of perfume, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm not sure I'd like to start with that. I don't suppose you know even part of the workshop's address, Professor. You don't have a business card for Mr. Drebber, for example. That man was clearly very cautious, Sato. I'm sure he would never have. Ah! Ha! Yes, I do. He gave me his business card once. It's right here. Look. What? Let me see that. She just went up there. She's outside there like, give me the card. And then she throws him to the side of the wall. Throw the kid to the wind. Why don't you? Enoch Draper, engineer. I'm afraid that's all it says. There's no address. No. Oh well. I can't say I'm surprised. Still, it's could be useful though. There you go. Let's see what this is real quick. This dark smudge here. I think perhaps it's machine oil. Ah, yes, possibly. Professor Hairbrain mentioned something about the oil Mr. Draper uses, didn't he? He said it was especially imported, very high quality oil that's possible to obtain in Britain. Yes, that's right. More importantly, that it's more fragrant than the finest perfume, so excuse me a moment. There you go. Oh, it doesn't appear to have any scent at all. Don't worry. I expect that this is because there's a tiny mountain on here. Thank you, sir. I shall go to the experimentation stage and most likely get the thing we need. There you go. 12th October, the Great Exhibition Grounds, foot of the Crystal Tower. Aw, she got a little cute little doggy there. Dad, God, so she said, nah, I'm gonna get it away that. I had no idea that there were so many people in the world. I know what you mean. It's really packed here today. It feels as though it's taken us 2 hours just to make our way through the crowds to this point. That's it. I set my brain down, so I really didn't notice, to be honest. Gosh, I do wish I had your absence of mind sometimes, Ms. Naruhodo. There, I had a feeling you lot would show your mugs before long. Oh, it's him. Oh, Inspector Gregson. I see your hard work as usual. Warm greetings to you. I do hope you're being kept well since we last met. What's all the ceremony? We just saw each other in court this morning. Not you, Sunshine. The gentlewoman, so loyally at your side. Oh. Why, thank you, Inspector. How good of you to notice. He might be rough around the edges, but he's still a proper English gentleman at heart, I suppose. You probably guessed we were hoping to investigate the scene some more. Right, well, that's the young trainee domain. Oh, get over here, Gina. She seems to be busy playing with a puppy. Probably giving it the traditional East End training. Gina? She's a police officer now. Amazing, isn't it? She's a good kid, actually. Heart in the right place, anyway. She's got the detection bug, if you ask me. Yep, I think she'll follow in my footsteps nicely. What do you mean? I'm being transferred. It's time for me to say toodaloo to London. Oh, no, really? That's a bit sudden, isn't it? I had no idea. Hopefully they don't try and jump you or nothing. Where are you going to be posted then? We'll come to see how you're getting along. Ha! Not likely. But you're welcome to try. If you don't mind a trip to France, that is. To France? I'll be working in the Paris Police Prefecture. Should be right up my alley. But in France? It's an entirely different country. I don't understand. Why would you be sent there? That's the way that don't work. The adult world works, Sunshine. Now don't go poking your nose in where it's not wanted. I'm intended to take the kid with me when I go. What? You're taking Gina to Paris? Well, I can't leave her here in London. Who knows what become of her? Suppose he's worried she'll slip back to slipping her hands into people's pockets and purses. I don't think he's worried about her pickpocketing, Mr. Naruhoda. I think he's worried about the Reaper. Oh, of course. So that's playing on Inspector Gregson's mind too, is it? Anyway, I haven't mentioned any of this to Gina. So don't go blabbing, you hear me? And no, of course not. Plus you cared about her, bro. Like, that's not a bad thing for me. I've got to keep that Diamond Diva safe and sound. Until all this is over, at least. Oi, did you just call me a bloomin' Diamond Diva again? So you heard that, did ya? But you can't hear anything else, huh? That's how it is, pal? Like, come on, what are we doing here? Right, well, any question about that seed, you can put them to my capable detective diva here. He said, yeah, alright, have a good day. Alright, you're the boss. Inspector Lestrade in charge here now. I suppose I'd better keep my word and not mention anything about Paris. So, Gina, you've got a new dog, have you? He looks lovely. Aw, look at him, he look cute. Isn't he great? Dobie's the name. They're cute. Oh, how delightful. He's absolutely adorable. I would have to agree with that. I would agree with that. Yes, the dog does seem lovely. But it's not so lovely, Inspector Gregson, that's playing on my mind, to be honest. I don't think she can do nothing about this. I feel like Sholmes could do something about this. I'm assuming Sholmes could do something about that. But like, at the end of the day, I guess we can investigate the scene if we need to. And I think we need to go up as well. So let's go ahead and do it. Let me see. We've been here before an hour? Makes sense. I'm Gina. We were actually hoping that we could investigate the seed again. Yeah, alright. It's around here. You can do whatever you like. Oh, that's alright, is it? Is it? I'm gonna be playing with my new friend here. Oh yes, Toby. The dog just barked. The machine that exploded must be at the top of those stairs, I presume. I haven't actually seen it yet, so if you don't mind. Sorry, you can't go up there, Susie. Or Suze. Oh? It's like I told Odo yesterday, even I ain't allowed near that wreck. What's called again? The reason we ain't supposed to touch it? The Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act? Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one. That's why only them lot are allowed to investigate it. What are they called again? The Forensic something? The Forensic Investigation Team. Is that what you were thinking of? That's the one, yeah. But isn't that the case the special decision? Oh, but isn't it the case that the special dispensation has been lifted? I think so. I don't really get it, to be truthfully with you. You're still supposed to get permission for some bigwig or other, as far as I know. What was his name again? Lord Strange something? I'm not sure if that's quite right, Gina. I think you mean Lord Strongheart, perhaps. That's the one, yeah. Apparently he's always watching the time or something. Actually, we've just recently been to see Lord Strongheart. Eh? You what? You've met him? That's how the boss was called to go see him. He waited for 3 hours at the Cove's office and came back sniffling. Tragic. Well, Lord Strongheart has given us permission to examine the scene as long as we touch nothing. Oh yeah? Honestly? Alright then, go ahead. But if it turns out you're lying, it'll be the boss who gets it. He never eats another chip again in his life. So, you're still saying this above board, are you? I'm sure everything will be fine. That really would be tragic. Alright then, up the stairs. Off you go. Oh, thank you, Gina. Alright, let's talk about today's trial, then let's talk about the dog. Unless we need to just go away with that, but go ahead and do that though. It was great, weren't it? I had a right laugh. It was a new one to me too. That, you know, being in court and not spend the whole time worrying that I'm the one about to be found out. You did keep an awful lot of secrets on all your previous court appearances, didn't you? Yeah, and Oda made things hard for me every single time and all. Just doing my job, Gina. But watching someone else get in the neck is a lot of fun, actually. It was amazing when you showed that Dodgy Professor Dodgy's experiment was a total fix. The Dodgy Professor, as you put it, Gina, is Mr. Naruhodo's client. Yes, I'm starting to wish that he wasn't, though. The boss I feel sorry for set off to do the impossible. What do you mean? He's supposed to arrest that other cove, ain't he? And in time for the tomorrow and all. You know, that dodgy engineer, what's his name again? Mr. Drebber, you mean. Enoch Drebber. That's the one, yeah. So the police are looking for this mysterious man with the black monocle. I guess that would be. It's putting too much on the boss, if you ask me. He says it's giving him gut ache. Oh dear, but I do wonder if that is actually from all the fried food. So, Scotland Yard are trying to track down Mr. Enoch Drebber? I wonder if they had any luck. Who texted me about something? Text me about this. Okay, they text me about that. Alright. I felt like I had a burp, but it won't come out. There we go. He's real funny looking. Got two eyes that but don't match. Told us some glitz of the picture of him earlier. I mean, I didn't actually pinch it or nothing. The old devil's got it. That's fair. Hey Liv, how you doing? Sorry, who? You know, that's Gowlin Reaper. He's always lugging down a glass of that blood red plunk. Oh, you mean, that other guy? You mean, Barrick? You're getting, there you go. There you go. You better make people crash out. You better make people crash out, bro. Like, what we doing? Let me better get us all cooked. You better get us cooked. You better get us cooked, bro. You better get us cooked. Nah, you better get us cooked. You better get us cooked. I don't know how many times you've done it, but you're getting us cooked every time you do it. Like, what are you using it on? You're using like phone or something? Like, man, are you using this thing on mobile or are you doing it on PC? If it's on mobile, you gotta stop doing it on mobile. That's all I can tell you. Lord Van Zeeks. He always had it in for me, that cove. Don't know what he's always scowling about, mind. Probably would have been a pretty good boss as it goes. Should rather be the Reaper's apprentice than the detective's trainee? The way I see it. The choice is between a chip-guzzling detective and a chalice-guzzling demigod. You're equally bad off with both. I suppose you're right. I ain't even thought of it like that. Why we put that one to bed? You said it randomly happened? Hey, I ain't gonna lie, stuff out here. Whoa, 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 whoa. There you go. Anyway, the point is, everyone at the yard's dead set on finding that fishy engineer. But they don't see no any clues what's going on, so they're stuck. There's nothing that'll lead us to Trevor at all. Hey, ma'am, I can give you this card. Cheetah, would you take a look at... Oh, where'd it go? Looking for this Odo? When did she do that? I wonder if you got anything else to show me, eh? What do you reckon? Give that back first, please. You're telling me you didn't want to be like, oh, this thing got something on it. Let's go out there and bring it to the forensic science team. Yeah. You know what? You're a kid. What am I supposed to say about that? Alright, let's talk about Toby the dog. Which, funny enough, that's really my dog's other... My ex-dog name. So, hey, we got something going on with that. Where did you find that little mutt? Did you ain't had to call him mutt. You could have said little dog. Oi, don't be so flaming rude, Odo. Exactly, I would be mad too. Like, why are you calling him a mutt, bro? That's one thing you don't want to call a dog, or a person that has a dog, is a mutt. Slight overreaction, don't you think? He ain't no mutt, alright? Toby's... How did they put it? Oh yeah, a bona fide detective. I would have said... You could have said pup, puppy, you could have said dog in general. Why'd you say butt is the craziest thing out there, bro? Look, you literally have a cat, bro. At this point, man, what if I called that cat something else? That's crazy word. No. Sorry? I've given him a proper title of everything. It's the Chief Inspector, Toby to you. Most senior than Inspector Gregson, is he? Oh, so he's a police dog, is he? The police recruit dogs now? I mean, to be fair, there is dogs out there that be recruited. I've heard that they've already been used officially in Germany as part of their city policy. They're used for chasing criminals and such like. They have a wonderful sense of smell after all. A very good sense of smell myself, as it happens. I sell undergarments that have been freshly laundered from undergarments that happen. Ryunosuke, I don't think you want to say that. Ha! That's nothing compared to this little fella, Odo. Oh, really? According to what the boss said, once Toby's ear got a good whiff of your drawers, he can chase that scent to the other side of the world. What? To the other side of the world? You mean he could swim? Mr. Naruhodo, I think you may have missed the point by rather a wide margin. I just can't believe this little dog has such an incredible skill. Bro, it's a dog! They can sniff! As long as they got a nose, they can do something. I'm telling you, Odo, there's gonna be more and more dogs doing their bits for the police in the future. Yes, I agree. Right? One of these days, they'll be working orders as a lot. Not the other way around. Oh dear. Sorry, Gina. I don't think I agree with your vision quite that much. Well, anyway, whatever you think about that, Toby here is the Britain's first police dog. I found him down at the East End the other day. Someone had just chucked him out of the street. Now, that's great work. There you go. I knew she lifted him from somewhere. Oh, Gina, you're such a kind-hearted soul, aren't you? To children and to animals. Alright, see ya, I'm out of there. These stairs lead up there, let's go over there. Yeah, I'm not reading that nonsense. Alright, we good. 23rd of October, the Great Exhibition Grounds Experimentation Stage. Oh my! So this machine is... So this is the machine, that's what I meant to say, but okay. That was used to deceive people into thinking instantaneous kinesis had taken place. Yes, that's right. Or rather, it was the machine. It was a little worse for wear at the moment. What extraordinary lengths Professor Harebrain went to in order to obtain the research grant. No, the president was strict as well. He didn't know anything about it. Yes, of course. It is amazing though, isn't it? The scale of the whole affair is so very British. You're right about that. You never see such a grand deception in Japan. That's for sure. Oh look, is that... Lord Van Zeeks? So, I think we are more or less done here, aren't we? Shall we, Misato? Already? Well, we just got here. He is the Reaper, remember? We do well to keep our distance, I think. But we have permission to be here, from the top. Yes, but this is the Reaper. This is Big Reaper. This is the Reaper that might go out there and kill you if you say something stupid. We're perfectly well allowed to investigate this sheet, as long as we don't touch anything. From the top? Do you mean Lord Strongheart? Brother, I'm not trying to know that. Exactly. So we can stay here and stare at this wreckage for as long as we like. She could have been at the center of the explosion here and it wouldn't have been her steel will. Okay. There's nothing you can really say or do that's gonna be good. Cause either way, they're gonna be like, yeah, nah, you gotta talk to this man. If you say something stupid though, you're dead though. Let's do this though. This wasn't here yesterday. Really? But if I'm not mistaken, it's the case in which the victim was standing before he's apparently beamed through the air. That's right, the birdcage. According to what Professor Hairbrain said before, it was made of wood. I mean, hey, if it's wood, it's wood. Or more precisely, Japanese cypress, I think. Or cypress. And despite having been, in an explosion and then falling from great heights, it's relatively unharmed. What a wonderful, durable construction. Would you say, Mr. Naruhodo? I understood that the forensic investigation team had taken it away yesterday to examine it. I suppose they must have brought it back here when they finished their work. But sadly not with the body inside it. No, that's right. I know we were given strict instructions to touch it, anything, but still, this is too important a piece of evidence to overlook. We might need it for the trial. I think sadly we have to talk to him. First, let us look at the court I meant to say court records. Right here. Ah, look here, Miss Sato. Oh yes, the wood cracked and broken a little. Suppose because it fell from such a height. Yes, from the height at which the balloon was flying down at the crest tower below. A fall about 30 feet or 99 meters. Leaving the man inside tragically dead. Did you worry about the top of the thing? Let's see. I guess we could talk to him. I guess. So I don't think this is gonna be any use. Alright, let's go talk to him. Least approachable man in the world winner. 10 years in a row. Be strong, Mr. Naruhodo. Your country and your assistant stands firm behind you. Behind me? Not in front, bro. Get out of here. Alright. Lord Van Zeeks. What? Well, beautiful weather we're having, is it? He's like, bro, this is just the basic thing you want to say to me, huh? You think I want to know about the weather? I can see the weather clear as day. Look at that thing. It's cloudy. With a little bit of some sun in that thing. I don't care about that. I thought I was making it quite clear that I didn't want to be disturbed. There you go. Apparently, you Nipponese are unequipped to read the signs. Oh, I read them. So, what are you doing here? Entry to this area is prohibited. Ah, well, the thing is, the Lord Chief Justice Strongheart granted us permission to investigate, on the condition that we didn't disturb anything. And yet you've managed to disturb me. That sounds like a skill issue. Ah. Never mind. State your business then. Come to think of it, there are quite a few things I'd like to ask Lord Van Zieks about. Not least of which is that awful case, even though it has to do with this. Ask away, Mr. Narholder. You won't know unless you try. He's like, I hate you. Okay, let's just get this out the way. Let's talk about, not your brother. Your brother might be a sore spot that might make you crash out on us. I'll wait till we at least get Enoch Drebber. Are the police trying to locate the engineer, Mr. Drebber, already? Surely that goes without saying. We're very keen to see him found as well. The trouble is, we don't have much to go on, aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. You know how that is. So. You know this street. The trouble is, yeah, we don't have much to go on aside from the description of the man we heard in court earlier. Which, according to the Professor Hairbrain, was a tall, thin gentleman who has straight white hair, who wears a black monocle. So I was just wondering. I mean, I realize it's probably not possible, but we'd very much appreciate any more clues you can give us. Wow, Susato-san really knows how to take the bull by the horns. Fine, why not? I have a photograph of the man here from an investigation 10 years ago. Though it appears he already had that black monocle at the time. What? Oh, no, nothing. I was just surprised that you shared that with us. We all need that man testimony in court tomorrow, which means we have to do everything we possibly can to track him down in a short time available. So why wouldn't I show you this photograph, or show you the photograph? What is it about Lord Van Zieks? Sometimes I just can't work him out at all. Alright then. Yeah, we see monocle. We see eye. That man got the dog in him. I can't even present nothing to you, so I think we have to present something else later. But okay. So, Clint. What's the name of your older brother? I understand. Lord Van Zieks. You nippin' niece. I always have to be on guard whenever you're around. So you've been investigating me, have you? Oh, no. It's not like that. Well, alright. It is a bit like that. My older brother was also a prosecutor. He was the pride of the Van Zieks family. But tragically, a vicious killer took him from us. Which will be the other professor, right? The professor, you mean. Is something funny? That's the extent of what you've discovered, is it? I shouldn't be surprised. Sorry, there's more to it then? Lecture work is very much your trademark, isn't it? You're too kind. Are you going to tar all different niece with the same brush next? So tell me, what's your interest in that historic incident? As it happens, Lord Van Zieks, there's a rather curious case that comes to our attention. What? Are you aware that Madame Two-Spell's Museum of Waxwork by any chance? I am, naturally. I believe that since last month I featured in one of the displays there, for public scorn. Of course, the infamous Reaper of the Bailey would have to be exhibited, wouldn't he? Well, a particular waxwork has been stolen from that place and held for ransom. A particular waxwork, which... Wait, you mean... Yes, it's the professor. Mr. Sholmes is investigating the case as we speak. I was unaware of that. He turned as white as a sheet. He's like, what are you talking to the enemies for? Ah, the file I requested for the trial tomorrow? Thank you. Yeah, you know who that is too. You alright? Who is this man, Mr. Naruhodo? Lord Vizik's apprentice, apparently. So I'm not the only one. Sato-san can see it too. Yeah, we both can see it. We can see it by the lips, by the stance. He got the dog in him, like we can tell. Lord Van Zeeks, may we speak with your apprentice for a moment? If he would like. With him? Why? I don't know who this guy is. Kazuma-sama. He's like, wait, what the? He's like, wait, what the? You don't know who I am. Look, that's not the best example that I think it is. Kazuma? I don't believe it. Your posture, your presence. I told you, he got the dog in him. He gotta know. A fellow dog gotta know who a dog is. It can only be. It's you, isn't it, Kazuma-sama? He's like, I felt something strange the first time I encountered this cloaked figure. As if I knew him somehow. He did? Can it really be you, Kazuma? He's like, wait. Too late. What's going on here? What is your interest in my apprentice exactly? You act as if you know the man or something. Well, since when has he been in your care? I don't recall you having a apprentice before I left Britain 6 months ago. Lord Strongheart introduced him to me 3 months ago now, with instructions to mentor him as a prosecutor. But he didn't tell you why, did he? The man appears to be suffering from amnesia. He's forgotten every last detail about himself. But he heard that name Cosmo. He was like, oh crap, I know about that Cosmo now. Unless he has a twin brother or something. He has amnesia. Tomorrow he will appear in court at my side. What? He's to serve as my judicial assistant on Lord Strongheart's orders. He'll be in court with us? Now then, unless I'm much mistaken, I believe this conversation has run its course. Oh, yes, thank you. I definitely saw a reaction there. Sato called him like that. It really seemed to hit a nerve. She called out Cosmo-sama. It gotta be Cosmo. It has to be, unless he has a brother or some other random person we know about. Yeah, have a good day, sir. I'm going to leave. And I just want to see what you would say if I gave you this card. What's that? It's just something I was hoping to ask your opinion on, that's all. It's a serious crime for the defense to attempt to extract information from the prosecution by illegal means. Alright, I get the message. I don't see what's illegal about me asking. Alright, I guess you don't want to win, bro. Okay, you got it, bro. Yeah, don't worry, I'll go out there and... How do I, like, leave? Like... Alright, here's what we're gonna do. Get me out of there. Take me here. Maybe she might be okay with this wooden Bird cage. Would you like to have a look at? How's she gonna grab a bird cage? Okay, we examined this. Oh. Sure. Okay, she just took the photograph too. Oh my goodness. Wait, can we not do anything with her? I would feel like she, of all people, would do that. I would feel like she would want to know that. Alright then, how about we just go to map 2 spots at this point? She ain't even here! Just play the song. This game be hating on me. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm doing everything in my path, bro. Alright, let's just do something, bro. Okay, now I can. Okay, now I can. Okay, how about this, Gina? Yeah, I'm still learning me letters at the moment. I only know A to AE, so if it ain't too bloody, too much bleeding trouble. Ah, actually, Gina, it's the back of the card that's important. What? How come? There's just a dirty old smudge in the back, that's all. It turns out that it's very high quality French machine oil. It's a very particular scent, apparently. You don't say! Let's have a whiff that then. You sure? I don't smell nothing. Dude, get the dog. No, we didn't mean that you should smell it. There's someone else in particular that has a good smell that could sniff it? Oh, right. You mean Toby. Indeed. There you go. Congratulations. You got it. His sense of smell is so good, he can track people over the oceans, Katie. Professor Harebrain informs us that this oil is unique to Mr. Drebber's workshop. There you go. Now that dog's sniffing. He's sniffing to see what's going on out there. He's like, nah, what the dog doing? I think he's picked up a scent. So you mean, if we follow the scent of this oil, Toby could lead us to that dodgy cove's workshop? Indeed he can, so let's take him. That's right. Exactly what we were hoping for. Alright then, we'll give it a go. I'll just borrow that. What? Wait, when did you... Once a pickpocket, always a pickpocket. If I lead everyone to that Drebber's workshop, I'll be the boss's boss before next week. Oh yes, Tina. I'm sure you'll be promoted. Poor Gregson. Right there, Dodo. Leave it to me. Sorry? We're going to get going after that dodgy engineer cove right this moment. Or minute. Oh, but hang on. Someone's supposed to keep guard duty here at all times. I'm afraid we can't help. We need to get on with the investigation as well, Gina. Oh, right. Oh well, never mind. It ain't gonna be me who gets in the neck. It'll be the boss. Poor Gregson again. Ready, Toby? Can I also have you? Come on, there, boy. See you later. And she's gone. I do hope the scent of the oil leads them to that swindler's workshop. Yes, I hope so too. Ideally before the dog swims across the channel to France. Okay, now do I go to her place? No, it's not that either. Hold up. Let me see something. I'm just gonna go everywhere. I'm gonna go everywhere. I'm gonna go everywhere I can. Actually, yeah, what to do? Do you know? I honestly thought I'd never have I told you to go to Great Britain. Can I do that? Okay, yeah, I'm not reading that. Okay. Okay, okay, she didn't say what to do, so like that was kind of pointless. What if she's strong card place? I gotta look at every piece of evidence. Do I need to ask you about anything in particular? No. He don't want to be bothered with no science. Sorry, sir. He's like, he don't want that, bro. Alright. Ah, the Crystal Tower. I can't believe I'm seeing it in such close proximity with my own eyes. You've really been looking forward to the great exhibition, haven't you, Mr. Sato? Oh yes, when I found out that I returned to Japan, I was afraid I cursed my luck. But here you are, back in London, gazing up at the magnificent tower. I know. Perhaps I was wrong to curse my luck so harshly. Is there anything I have to do in particular? I don't know. I don't know anything else we can talk about because this thing ain't telling me crap. I don't want to look it up, but it's going to make me have to look it up and I'm going to have to be confused on what the heck I'm supposed to be doing here. Oh, let's just see something. What a terrible explosion it must have been. Even the steel girder have buckled and twisted in the blast. And what they called the bird cage was right in the middle of it, all of it. Just here. But look, Mr. Arhoda, that metal grill on the floor. Looks as though it's been designed to open. It does, doesn't it? If the floor had opened at the precise moment the explosion occurred, the birdcage could have dropped through, disappeared from the site. I don't think there's been any doubt that this was a good, elaborate hoax, is there? I had to look at that, really? You already met that masked man, hadn't you, Mr. Arhoda? I mean, she's an interesting character, I'll say that. She's an interesting character. How you doing? Yes, and that's what I had to look at, really? I wasn't even paying attention to that. I was just focused on talking to Doug on other people. But I think I can talk to Madam Two Spells now. If she's there. If she's not there, I'm going to have to look around and talk to some random other person. Yes, yesterday, in fact. At Lord Van Zeek's office. I see. And if Cosmo-sama really is still alive... Yeah, I met Courtney Scythe. If you talk about Courtney Scythe, I've met the lovely lady. I've met her. And her daughter. If that's her, an actual daughter. It means that Mr. Jones lied to us. Indeed it does. I know. We're going to need to speak to him about that. You're going to have to leave now. Ben wanted to leave, sir. I couldn't do nothing until I get the thing. The forensic investigation team are due to arrive shortly. If they found you here, it will cause problems. What sort of problems? Foreign affair problems. Well, we could do without that. Alright, we'll be on our way. Let's go, Mrs. Otto. Of course. Well, I think we've done all the investigating we can here for now. If we could just determine the whereabouts of Mr. Drebber. I'm sure Jaina and Lil Toby won't let us down. I hope not. Now then, do you think we ought to try to speak to Mr. Sholmes at this point? We have things to discuss. I'm dying to meet him again after all these months. Yes, it's quite possible he might know something useful. You're right. We gotta find out about 2 spells. He's supposed to work there as a temporary waxwork exhibit. Yes, Iris told me about his latest unusual adventure. Let's just get that song out the way like we're That's what it's gonna sound like the entire time. 23rd of October, Madame 2 Spells, Museum of Waxworks. Again, we're here. Here we are again at this house of horrors. I'm afraid I haven't gotten used to the place yet. I'd still like to turn my heels and go straight home. Be at the confectionery, of course. Sada-san really is after something sweet today, isn't she? What's the matter? Look, Mr. Naruhodo, look at that waxwork. I'm quite sure it wasn't there before. If it's Sholmes, it never has been there for a while. It looks exactly like Mr. Sholmes down to that very last detail. Aha! What is it? Oh, sorry. I think you'll find that the temporary waxwork himself. Ah, the friend of my dedicated employee. Oh yes, hello again. It's Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I must say I am quite spellbound by the great detective. He is a marvel. My precious waxwork is already back where it belongs. You don't mean... But yes, the mystery is solved already. Wow, Mr. Sholmes can really engage his brain when he's hungry for enough. In the more world of, mother-daughter, double whopper. Good to know, even though I don't know much about that, you got that. So as you can see, he has returned to his habitual duties. Yes. His habitual duties? Allures. Do not disturb her, huh? Huh? What do you mean? That woman is weird. Rosado-san. She looks very perplexed. But we need details from him. Psst. Sholmes. I'm gonna need you. We do really need to speak to Mr. Sholmes, and I'm longing to say hello again. But where is he? Come on! I don't even know what that even is. I'm cooked on when it comes to Weatherworks. I'd have to look that up. I ain't gonna hold you. But come on, baby girl. Don't tell me you just don't see those Sholmes. Like, there's only one Sholmes out there, man. Go out there and touch it. Really? Oh, I thought he was trying to do a dance. So he doing a fighting dance and fighting at the same time. Like, look at this. He's like, come here, put the dukes up. I think you might find that he's quite nearby, actually. Oh? What do you... Indeed, my dear fellows, it is I! The world-famous great detective in waxwork, Herlock Sholmes. Imagine she just like, wait, Sholmes! And she just starts punching like, hey, wait! I didn't do nothing! But come on, how did you not know it was... no! Oh, she just... Susano-san! Susano-san! You didn't have to pass out yet! Yeah, she just passed out. No, she really just passed out. My most humble apologies. I thought I died and gone to the eternal paradise for a moment via London. My dear madam, allow me to make amends by offering you a tasty free deduction at some point. As long as it's not the questionable street food quality. Because I ain't know that. I don't understand. Why are you working as a waxwork here, Mr. Sholmes? Merely a secret identity, you understand. Though the case is largely solved now. Largely solved? We're talking about the waxwork abduction, I presume. Indeed we are, my good fellow. As I predicted, it was as easy as proverbial pie. Though I confess. Hey, look, look, man. I'm gonna need some scythe. You can have the daughter, though. I'm gonna need some scythe. Either that or give me. Actually, I can't even ask for the other lady because literally that other lady is married and she's got a gas company going on. I can't mess with that. I'll take battle 2 spells though. If you take both of them, I'll take battle 2 spells though. I guess I can take battle 2 spells. So I confess, I've yet to partake of a pie, proverbial or otherwise, or any food so far today, for the matter. Yeah, you need some food. That stomach rumble echoed around the whole museum. So how did you manage to solve it so quickly? Ah, well. Hey Kayla, how you doing? And you said for the daughter, but both. It's good. Hey, you can take you orbit. I'll take battle 2 spells. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. I'll take that. Ah, well I do remember I said it was largely solved. Anyway, I simply negotiated with the culprit. Are you familiar with the so-called telephone? Yeah, I did see the message, Kayla. I saw the message. I saw it 13 minutes ago. If I remember correctly. Oh yes, it's the most modern invention, allowing you to hold a conversation with people far away. Very good. Very good. I'm doing alright. I'm suffering. We haven't a voice acting the entire time, sadly. In Japan, only the imperial capital and a handful of... I can't see that part. Of other cities are connected as yet. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Says, so how about this? I take the daughter. So you want Gina and Susato. Look, if you want Susato, you can have that. Maybe get a little 2 years up. Yeah, you got that. And if you want Gina, which, if you want that is perfectly fine. You want some of Gina and Susato, you can have that. If you talk about Emma Sky and I take a lot of Sky, that's perfectly fine. I'll take it. I'll take that. If this guy looks weird, I had to look at his face. Why does this man look like this? Move on either way. This morning, a telephone call was received here from the perpetrator of the abduction. As such, I was able to negotiate terms, and in the end, the waxwork was returned. That's amazing. Just between you and I, it would appear that the culprit had always intended to return the stolen waxwork in any event. Oh, but I thought whoever was responsible had demanded a ransom, no? Yes, I think perhaps the ransom demand was necessary to avoid unwanted suspicion regarding the true motive. But does that not mean your negotiation was entirely unnecessary? Yeah, that was, sadly. A fact that I must ask you to keep from Madame Two Spells at all costs. A hungry younger Iris awaits my return to Baker Street after all. You're not lying, he need that bread. Poor Iris. Now then, do I sense that you have some business with this great waxwork? Yes, I do. Because this song feels weird. Tell you that song feels weird every time. Hey, look, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I need to look at this photograph. Sholmes, how about this? Or do I need to just do something else with it? I was only eating opium scraps. The heck is opium scraps? You will see I'm rather busy at the moment. If there's advice you seek, come to my office tomorrow, and I shall be happy to help you. Shall we say threepence per item as a consultant fee? Consultant's fee, but that's incredible. That's 2 hours of gas, that is. My apologies. Let us just converse at the moment. And then maybe we can do that. We're in the process of trying to track someone down. Hang on real quick. Alright, there we go. Oh? Yes, a man by the name Enoch Drebber. He's the swindler who duped Professor Hairbrain and the engineer who built the kinesis machine. A swindler and an engineer? Quite the modern man. He also seems to be the conjurer of sorts, with considerable knowledge of stage magic. We really need to locate him before the trial resumes tomorrow morning. But we have so few clues to go on, that's the trouble. Do you have any good ideas? I have no data yet. It is a capital mistake to have good ideas before one has data. If I knew something on the man's appearance at least, I may be in a better position to help. Yes, Drebber's appearance. Fortunately for you, however, presently I have little to occupy myself and little to fill my stomach. As soon as you find any clue, no matter how small, I should gladly give you my thoughts on it. Really? Is this what we're doing, bro? I just went out there and I just presented it for no reason, man. Take this photo. There you go, Mr. Sholmes. Would you cast your eyes over this photographic print here that I presented to you the first time, and you had a problem with it, and you said nothing to it, and now you have a good idea about it. But yeah, cast your eyes on this print, please. It's of Mr. Enoch Drebber, the face of the engineer we seek. Well, all Englishmen look broadly the same, of course. So looking at the photograph won't be particularly instructive. Are you alright, Mr. Sholmes? Yes, forgive me. Very interesting, very interesting indeed. What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You turned quite pale all of a sudden. Really, bro? Just do Cosmos stuff, man. What's this man on about? Sholmes, did you lie to us? My dear Mr. Narhoda, stay that piercing stare. What is this about? Last winter, when we were first on our way to Britain aboard the steamship, the words were very clear, so then let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murderer. You told us that it was a murder, and you examined Cosmo-sama's body. Indeed, and wherein lies the problem? We met him earlier today, the victim, Kazuma Ozagi. You're quite sure? He was wearing some sort of mask and was apparently suffering from amnesia. But yes, I'm quite sure it was Kazuma-sama. You must have known at the time, Mr. Sholmes, that he wasn't actually dead. Well, I can only assume I was swept up in the murderous atmosphere of the moment. But the fellow wasn't dead at all? Ha 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 ha! Priceless! I don't suppose that performance would pass muster, would it, Mr. Narhoda? I could believe that the crewmen present at the time made a mistake. But not you, Mr. Sholmes. I will now tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. Please, Mr. Sholmes. Tomorrow in court, you will find yourselves on the threshold of a very great mystery. For now, I'm afraid that is all I can say. I have a suggestion, Mr. Narhoda. Will you indulge me? Oh, well, what is it? As I explained to you when you arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned. A person reinstalled it in the exhibit from which it was taken, behind those thick curtains. Oh yes, the professor's exhibit, isn't it? Would you like to see it for a mere 5 shillings? That's a special one-of-a-time and once-of-a-lifetime price, you'll understand. What? The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Wouldn't you like to see the fruits of my labor? Oh, well, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out. Perhaps we could postpone. The price is very reasonable, 5 shillings. I think you'll find it very worth the while. And wait. Are you being quite serious, Mr. Holmes? Surely you need only look at my expression to ascertain if this is seriousness or silliness. I can never tell with you, that's the point. Very well, it couldn't hurt. Here's your 5 shillings. Gratefully received. So, the special exhibit awaits behind the curtain. I invite you to use it at your leisure. And he goes back to his waxwork opportunity? Makes sense. Well, the money's been spent, so let's go and see this special exhibit. At this point, he might as well, bro. That girl needs some food. Though, through those heavy curds at last. $5 shillings we've had to pay. Doesn't seem right somehow that Mr. Sholmes slipped the money into his own pocket, does it? No. We could ask Gina to retrieve it for us. Using her special skills. Pickpocketing police officers and diddling detectives. Is that what makes Britain great again? Not to mention demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands, or chip-loving inspectors. Inspector Gregson comes off rather well in that list, I think. Very true. 23rd of October, Madame Two-Spell's special exhibit. Oh dear, I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walked in here. Who's 139? Like, who's the dude ahead? And plus, that guy looks like, we'll have to check him out in a second. Mrs. Otto, I say we turn our heels and go straight home via the really big confectionery. Yeah, he definitely did. He's like, nah, I'm a, stoop. Just put that thing right in his pocket. I'm surprised he ain't ran off with it too. We certainly can't do that. We've paid 5 shillings already. True. Actually, now that I'm looking a little more closely, we paid really good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. The nerve of the great diddling detective is far more terrifying than anything else in this place. This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said that this case was largely solved. Yeah, so we get no head in return. Be that as it may, Mr. Sholmes heavily implied there may be a clue about the engineer here, didn't he? Where? Should we pay 5 shillings? Let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we? Yes, we will get what we paid for. Is that fear of frustration that's making Susan's voice tremble? Probably both. Alright, this right here. This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real. It seems to be a young man in a white overcoat. So remember, diddling isn't what it is now when this organization was released. Hey, look. I know it's not the other type of diddling. I know it ain't that. what I'm saying? Plus, this game came out way before this anyway, so honestly, I wouldn't think of it like that in the first place. And he has a large shovel in his head, too. Look. I think I better get a little bit more detail. How about this weird camera thing? What's this here? Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera. Makes sense. A camera? But so small. That makes sense. That makes sense. That would make sense. I was thinking along the lines of Gravedigger. Cause I was thinking about that thing that one man said, Gravedigger, man. His whole name was Gravedigger, was out there crashing out. Crazy work though. British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Sholmes' skin prints? I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes' inventions as exceptions to the rule. But anyway, why would the man be in a graveyard at night with a camera? I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost film? Well, we'll just have to borrow this for a little while, I think. By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we could see what the picture was taken. What's a photographic plate? It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming in through the lens. If we open the cover at the back camera, we should find it. Let's have a look. You should see yourself, Sao-san. Your eyes are shining. You really do like machinery, don't you? Yeah, we finally got this part. Wait, can we not see the face? Alright. We can't even see the man's face that grave. Trying to see, can I see? Okay, I don't really, okay, I see the eye. I see a weird looking monocle thing. Like, why can't we see the face? It would make sense if we could see the face. Alright, let's just see this real quick. This turns, okay, yeah. Alright. Wait, can I? Oh, there you go. I can't click the face. Okay, there you go. I can't see his face very well. Can you? Okay, there you go. Since I can't see the face that good. Perhaps if I just... Oh, do you think you should be manhandling the exhibits, Mr. Naruhodo? I'll put it back exactly as it was. Don't worry. Ah. Well, what on earth? How can... I don't believe it. A black monocle. Now hold it. Is it possible that the man is Enoch Drebber? Yes. It's Enoch Drebber. The color of his hair is different, but it's unmistakably him. Who's that? Oh, indeed it is! Mr. Sholmes! This man is the subject of your present hut, I believe. Yes, that's right. Why does it look like that? Just who is this man? Why is he here in the exhibit? Yeah, that man said, nah, bro, that man is struggling out here, man. He's struggling out here like that owl over there. That owl out there struggling with them eyes. I don't know if it's taxidermy like it was or just some that fake little nonsense out there. But at this point, I don't be caring at this point. And why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. What surprise. So then, the case isn't yet solved, is it? Did I say so myself? Largely solved were my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head How the suit, as Madam would say, or I'll be in grave trouble. A very hungry Iris still awaits my return to Basker Street, preferably with rations. Ah, my goodness. Do you know, though? Something about this room is strange. Strange? What do you mean? Well, the display in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, aren't they not? Indeed they are, Mr. Sato. Do go on. And as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other cameras are believable. But this one... Go ahead. This surely couldn't have ever really happened, could it? I think it's time I educated you a little about the nature of the incidents involving the professor 10 years ago. Okay, first get out the way. Let me see something real quick. This must be the killer. The fiend known as the professor. Unless Enoch was the professor. Yes, I think so. According to what Madame Two-Spell said, but I can't tell at this point. Like, how did he get from the brink of death? I can't tell with this game sometimes. He killed 5 victims, all of a noble or royal blood. The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place. I know, it looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If it only had a head, that is. Perhaps we should examine it in more detail. So this is the condemned man? Yes, the so-called professor. Then perhaps his head was chopped off by a guillotine, but unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost. Do you have to entertain such a terrifying idea, Miss Sato? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it, see? Then perhaps Mr. Sholmes absent-mindedly forgot to reattach it. That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? Or perhaps the thief absent-mindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum. And that would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason for why the only head's returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means that we won't know who the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? Oh. There's something caught just in between the convict's jacket here. It looks like a piece of broken glass. Quite a big piece, too. It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glazing, I'd say. Where could such a thick piece of glass have come from, I wonder? I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength. But why? Well, perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area, such as in a big building, for example. Well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? Some of the glass was broken too. You don't mean exactly the Crystal Tower at the exhibition? Why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this waxwork's jacket? It makes you think, doesn't it? Interesting. Earlier in the court, we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick, and now we discovered that the fragment glass is in here in the waxwork. Is this just coincidence? Alright, I gotta see something. I don't know how close I am to beating this thing. We'll get close to at least getting the thing, but we'll see how it goes. Man, this is gonna be a tiring thing for me. At least when I finish this thing, I'll be good. Resurrecting convicts. I believe I told you about the little professor yesterday. Did I not? It took the lives of 5 victims, everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound. and had their throats ripped from their bodies. Oh gosh, an enormous hound? How awful. After taking the lives of his fifth victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. A closed court? So you mean that the professor's identity... As you surmise, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in the grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair. Oh? I had to move that thing up. The very night that he was buried, the convict man came back to life. Came back to life? He clawed his way out the grave and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene, as he described by the sole witness to those chilling events. There's a witness? But of course, my dear fellow, there's none other than the young man in the white overcoat, which was Enoch Drebber. He saw it happen? So this is a waxwork model of Enoch Drebber. 10 years ago, the convict professor, having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. And I have to check my thing real quick. I've played this thing for 2 hours and 22 minutes. It might be close to 2 hours 30 minutes. So the sole witness to the unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old. It's so horrifying. Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. In the sheer terror of what he had seen, is said to have turned his hair white overnight. I'm not gonna lie. If I had seen that myself, my hair would turn white instantly. I'd probably sure as well. Because I'd be confused and weirded out. If I was him, I probably would have done the same thing, I'm not gonna lie. Yes, as shown in the photograph we have of him, his hair is completely white. For the following few days... sorry. The story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who came back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here at Madame Two-Spell's. I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly, but what I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place, in a lonely graveyard in the middle of the night. Yes, what was he up to? The professor's act of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest level of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had been before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have had. But in the time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did talk of the shocking witness accounts of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as a preposterous parlor tale. But why would people stop believing it? Why, simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, as was established in fact. What do you mean by no resurrection? The police investigated the grave in Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. Oh, sorry, I got to go out again. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the execution. No, but that would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police and newspapers. That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society, and nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking, then, that he should resurface now, don't you think? Of course, the convict murdered couldn't really have to come back to life. That's not possible. But Mr. Drebber's hairs are usually white. And if that really did happen overnight, that's what I was shocked. Quite hard to believe that the incident was an out-and-out lie. Well, what the bleeding Nora, Ono? What have you gone and did? Gina, what are you doing here? I asked Iris, and she said this is where you've been, so... To Gina, not so loud in the museum. Madam Two-Spells will have you take position as waxwork if you're not careful. I think there's a more pressing concern. I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so... Alright, Gina, we understand, but please, put down the gun. And seriously, what are we on about? Sorry, I got scared. You should try to being the one on the other end of the barrel. So, what brings you here, Gina? What brings me here? What do you think? We found it. We found that Dodgy Coast workshop. What? You found Drebber's workshop? Yep. Toby's nose took me straight there. The boss and the others are head over there now, in the drag, so come on. His address. I got the boss to write it out. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once. Alright then, see you there. Hopefully the mess doesn't mess anything up. You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here, being still. What? I know my place. And the exhibit over there. Oh dear, someone is feeling sorry for himself. Let's go, Mr. Holmes, you're coming. Your words hearten me, I must say. But if I were to shirk my duties here, Madam would have me pay monetary recompense, and our dinner plate would be... Forget that, I'll pay for everything. Then there's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail a carriage at once. No offer to share the cost for Mr. Sholmes, then. I shall gladly pay my half, Mr. Naruhoda. Thank you, Mr. Sato. Right, let's go. Nah, we have to pay her his crazy work, bro. 23rd of October, Enoch Drebber's workshop. I'm sure Gregson should be here. That looks like... Oh, it's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. Indeed, it would appear so. Though only a prototype, naturally. Ah, so you got here then. Gina, well done for finding this place. And in such little time, you really worked miracles. It's Toby here who's the miracle worker. Indeed. Dang, you good, bro? Like, your eyes look a little... I don't know. It looks kind of weird. I don't like that. Ah, I thought you lot would show up before long. Oh. Hello, Victor. That's one knitted brow. Yeah, that thing is crazy. Looks like he's eating a lemon. Not a bag of fish or chips. Sand chips. So, Inspector, is there any sign of engineering or engineer? Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here. Oh, what a shame. Well, thank you for at least letting us know about the place and giving us a chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue that you lot turned up. I wouldn't want to, say, go to Paris without a graft of gratitude unpaid. Would I? Thank you. Anyway, if you're hoping to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. More antiques and the other forensic society are on their way as we speak. Them again. I imagine you got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer types. Right. So then, my dear fellow, let's turn this place upside down whilst we have the chance. And you, Sholmes. Pardon? They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Ha 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 ha. Very droll, Gregson, very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. Right then, let's see what we can find in here. Where? Bro, did my phone just start crashing out? Did my phone really just mess up? Okay, there we go. Alright, I see a trophy. Let's just see what this trophy does. Ah, this appears to be most interesting. It's a trophy! How interesting can it be? An impressive looking back massager, that's for sure. I have no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aching pains will go away sooner. Whatever. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science, and a scientist could wish for no higher honor. Ah. Would you like to like a massage? No, I'm fine, thank you. I had no idea it was such a grand thing. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Enoch Drebber than conjuring tricks. I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. He's not going to let that go, is he? It's curious, though, isn't he? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside. That's what I meant to say. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times. This is a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside. Oh, do you suppose? Crossbow bolts, these. And just the right size for the bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds. In other words, yep, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Drebber was the one holding the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam. There you go. Maybe this door. There's the one that wants to open. Yeah, looks like it's got a pretty hefty lock on it. There's a specialist locksmith on his way over in the yard now, so hands off until he gets there. With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission, and no one's giving it to you. Yeah, it's funny room indeed. That man, look at his smirk, bro. I think that man is smirking. That man's like, hey, you're not getting that information. Braxton looks as though he really enjoyed that. Dang. Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side. No, Jordan must have fled at first sight of danger. Maybe thanks to this machine right here. See, enjoy while you kid? Yeah, I probably will, because I'm not gonna lie to you. If I have my chance to say who gets bodied, I don't want to be that guy. But I feel like it's three options it could be. And I don't want to be that guy saying it. What the heck is this? Is this machine the same thing? I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. That machine is covered by the Special Disposition for Scientific Equipment Act. There would be a serious repercussions if we were to examine it from the crown to the ground. Alright, I got my two people I get. But okay, but those who can examine it, go talk to them. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow. No loose shades dropped on the floor or nothing. Not even a bow for Toby here, my dear fellow. First people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? I think that's just these two, Mrs. Sato. What? Oh. Is it wrong, Mrs. Sato? Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina, did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it all. What do you reckon, Toby? You already know Toby out there trying to go in there. Right, mind the grease. What was in there? Open up! This is a Scotland Yard. Dude, just break the door down, huh, boy? Nah, Scotland Yard. Dude, just breaking that door. Just break that thing. Oh my, someone is in there. Man, get in there. Ah, this rotten bleeding lock. My dear Gregson, as I said only a minute ago, if only it was countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. That man's trying to cook. Fine, I'll take the rap for it. Just get us through that blasted door. No, wait, what the? He just opened the door instantly. He can't afford to replace that door. Hey, honestly, look, man. Look. I would say, hey, look. Other people got it. They got it. There. You may interact well. You confused minutes with seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? Nothing for it, I suppose. It's an emergency. There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all see. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Now, if they try to crash out on me, we gotta run heads. Yes. What's happened in here? Why is everything upside down? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, stuff. Rats! There ain't no one in here after all. There is, man. But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard sounds or noises. Maybe that was the sound of Dropper running away. But there's only one door in this room. And no windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high. What's that up there? Are they footprints? On the ceiling? Blow me. What do we have here then? Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry. Bro, that thing is so burned, I don't know, bro. I can't help that. Oh, these look like a set of blueprints. To what? That professor's harebrained farming machine, is it? Blimey, if we had those, there'd been no need to muck about who's trying to investigate all this crap. There is something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. Rope? What's significant about that? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe. No, Mr. Naruhoda? We must investigate the entire room thoroughly before the investigation team arrives too. Well, duh, I'm gonna examine this stupid bomb that's right in our face. That's like the most obvious thing to look at. Like, look at that thing. That thing's like the most deadliest weapon out here. Like, look at that thing. We gotta examine that. Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruhoda. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. Indeed it is. Like, that thing looks like a bomb that's about to blow up in time. So I'm assuming that's a time bomb. What do you make of this? Yeah, that time bomb is gonna blow up any second if we just keep standing there looking at it. Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. Risotto, what's the matter? Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? It is. You have this armed. Look, it would have been cooler if he just kept it armed. He said, okay, I'm gonna blow this thing up. They're gonna have 5-10 minutes to answer this question. If they don't answer this question, they're cooked and they're dying. That would have been cooler. But then they would all just run out the door. Like, get out, get out. And everything just blows up. He's like, I knew someone was gonna be in here. It just blows everything up. What? Did you say? Like, bro, come on, that's a bomb. How you not know what a bomb is? Gina, I understand she don't know what a bomb is, but every one of us should know what a bomb is. Sorry, but what's the time bomb exactly? Never mind. Ryunosuke is dumb as bricks too. What the heck is wrong with you? How you don't know what a bomb is? A bomb that blows up within time? I don't daggone know. Eh? You truly are one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo. You're stupid. I won't take that as a compliment. Yeah, you're definitely stupid. I'm sorry if you don't know what a daggone time bomb is. I feel like if I was a kid, I didn't even know what that is. Ha! Huh. You don't know nothing, do you, Odo? Oh, brother, why are you shouting about everything? At this point, bro, take this man out and let him stay in like the, I don't know, like the help center or something like that. I don't know. Or take her where she was at. Might as well be at this point. You haven't gotten a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. You suck. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance. Oh, well, thank goodness. But then, what is it? I see. So that's it. Goodness, Mr. Sholmes, have you seen the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair. For I am fated to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. I'm not gonna lie. If it's one of them daggone them Sholmes deduction thing, I'm doing that on my regular voice for both of the matters until that thing is over. I'm not holding y'all. So I see that? I'm doing that regular voice. I do not care what it's for. But I have learned to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Mr. Sato. Here we go. I feel a great deduction's coming. Oh, brother. I'm doing my regular voice. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we've seen before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Trevor himself. Oh, but how could you... And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there is without question completely genuine. Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything. We're kinda cooked if you don't. Someone just text me about something? Someone text me real quick? Just text me about something. Alright, it would be my pleasure. After all, it's a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. He's like, he's kinda cooking. But dang, bro, your face good, Con? Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway. Ha 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 ha. Oh, You deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done. You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Mr. Sato. Oh, yes. I'd be delighted. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. Introduction, the game is afoot. Flipped furniture. Alright, now we're doing regular voice here. I like how she's just so happy to just be there. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table, and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling. I was thinking about something nonsense in my head before falling straight down onto the floor. Every item in the room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that? Indeed, the key here is gravity. Bro, did they have a place where something could do something with some stupid gravity? That's the thing I gotta know about. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull on the Earth. For the gravity in the room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality. Goodness! The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Mrs. Sato. I too was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was submitted when I observed this. An anti-gravity device almost identical to the one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day. A dream? Bro, what are we doing here? But that... Then why does it have to have a clock on it? Most relevant question indeed. This is timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. The commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment the restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of this anti-gravity device. So you see, we look no further to explain the state in which we need to find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drebber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. This man is out here doing some nonsense. This man's doing some nonsense. I know he is. He out here just doing some nonsense. Okay. Now let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our head. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there in the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason why there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight? What the heck are we talking about? Of course, Drebber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way in this room, excepting skylight, that is. Ah. This man is on the future talking, bro. This man has powers of gravity on his side. He got this, bro. Like, look, dude, I ain't gonna lie. At this point, if he has gravity's on his side, bro, call him a demigod at this point, bro. He's stronger than the Reaper anyway. By inverting the gravity in here, Drebber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling, making his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If gravity reversal was so sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drebber have fallen up to the ceiling rather violently? That makes sense if it was that fast. Unless it was slow as dirt. Falling up is scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool used than this rope? By anchoring one into the hall, or the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. But it explains how Mr. Drebber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. Alright. Okay, I think that's the most he will say. Alright. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deductions of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Gina don't care. She's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there's just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean? I would say that with the man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no mere possible that instantaneous kinesis. I mean, instantaneous kinesis be also nonsense, so hey, you got that. But our deduction hinges on it! But my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. However improbable that it may seem... so terrible. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom. I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I've read in something that Zutto lent me once. Objection! Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, the spell's broken at last. The rope you found on the floor, wasn't it? Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall. But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall? Yeah, it would make sense that it would be tied to the wall, unless he just said, you know what, let me untie it and then throw it off. Yeah, now go out there and get it. Use that as evidence now. Mysteries inevitable unravel in the end, as I think you'll find, do ropes. And as evidence as such, you need only look at the mystery we faced in this room, now skillfully unraveled. That argument is as circular as the coils of rope. I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand here. Let me move this. I gotta move this because I gotta get straight for that Myro thing that I'm gonna help her out with. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth. Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebbers gets too far away. There we go. I had to get that straight. If you're ready, then let us resume. Sherlock Holmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Alright, let me cook. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Let me cook real quick. Yeah, now we're not reading this stuff because I already read it. Yep. That's what he says. That's fine. And they said it was by gravity. He was walking while gravity was talking. Who does this though? Crap, it's not what I'm about to do. I'm trying to get things straight. There we go. This man's walking while gravity is talking. He's talking while talking to gravity. He's like, he's giving it the literal, like, yeah, nah, I don't care how you feel. To think gravity could have reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation. Yeah, that man thinks he's deal. Look at this man. This man said, nah. This is how he did it. He walked like this. He thought he was cool with that thing. Gravity's moving up. He's like this. He's like, yeah, I'm him with that thing. He hit that thing. He was trying to hit that thing. I can't be mad at him though. I respect it though. If I could do that too, I would do the same thing too. I ain't gonna hold you. I would do the same thing too. But the man himself admitted it was scientifically a possibility. So, yes, you're quite right. You must completely discount the idea at once. Ooh, that's unusually merciless of you, Susanna. When you eliminate the impossible, what remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said that himself, didn't he? While refusing to part with his dream of anti-gravity devices. Yes, I suppose so. Well, let's see if examining this topic we've seen more closely reveals some proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing. Well, I was expecting to find a bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure. Ah, look at that. I know, that slender little vase looks like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Somehow it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say? To be honest, Mr. Arahoda, something else about that is rather deep impression to me. Indeed, that's why we're going to press it. Because why is this thing not upside down? The upright face clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my words, Mr. Arahoda, you surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps. No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes, trust me. But I'm pretty sure, hey, Ryunosuke probably is okay with, you know, trying to show his thing to, you know, Sada, though. As you rightly say, though, it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down. There's an unassuming slender faces staring keenly to attention. And unlike this large safe, there's nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's an exception that breaks the rule. In short, as much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all! My deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes. At this point, might as well be. But the show must go on, and so let us continue with our deductions. Now this we don't have to read. We don't have to read that. You don't say. Oh, I have to read this actually. My bad, I gotta read this part. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? quite. And naturally, there's an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in this area is turned that is because of the anti-gravity device, okay? He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though. Well, let's look around and see if the answer finds itself.
Take that!
Alright, yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruto, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket and noticed the ticket number down the inside cover of the book just in case. That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart and always make an important note of important information. Did you not have like a... Actually, I'm not going to say they have a phone, because technically they didn't have, I don't think they had telephones, I don't know if they had actual phones. So I can't say that about that. But couldn't they just write down on a piece of paper that they have? That would be better, but okay, they got that. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think. And what's, pray tell, happened next, Mr. Naruto? Mr. Naruto? When the day of the draw came around, I'd forgotten which book I'd written the number in, and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it. For people who are forgetful souls at heart, and always forget where they noted things down. Not if you always note things in the same place. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember when a magazine I'd slipped a ticket into, and thank you, Mr. Naruto, but I believe I proved my point now. Now shut up! And stop with their beady doe eyes. I'm sick and tired of looking at them. Which is that a very similar scenario had clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself required access to the safe documents of this room needed the combination of the code. He remembered he read it underside a piece of furniture, but forgotten which one. Why didn't he just flip it up gently to the ground? It should not have been that hard. He flipped it so hard that anyone could hear that garbage. Leading to the state in which we found the room. Yes, Mrs. Robert overturned all the furniture here, and just in a hurry to locate the combination device or code that would unlock the safe. Okay. Okay, we can skip this one. But yeah, now let's consider the next conundrum. They want to say, and yeah, we can skip this part. Even she's like, what the heck are you talking about? Well, if a change in gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there? Yes, I feel as though a particular mystery has just become even harder to solve. I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Ooh, life was so much simpler in those Halcyon days when gravity could be reversed. It was minutes ago, and those Halcyon days never existed in the first place. Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail. Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what getting us in this situation in the first place. What the heck is that?
Take that!
The shoe, I'm assuming. Let's go. Talk to you. The reason why there are footprints in the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon. But for what purpose? A green balloon, That seems somewhat familiar detail. Huh? There's a piece of green balloon envelope that Naruhoda and Iris found at the scene. And inside the green balloon that Mr. Gott claims he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was empty. It was the second bird cage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception. You mean to say? Hey, apparently, Enoch Drebber did that thing. He hit that thing. He said, nah, bro, let me talk to you real quick. I'm gonna make this thing work. He's like, I'm gonna make that thing work. There's a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Ugh. So our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon is out of reach. That's why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. It was probably Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by sealing it with the shoe. However, his effort was thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of the lofty heights. Oh dear, we definitely need to examine that balloon. If only there was some way to see if we could see it inside. You may recall that I found this rope earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? Okay, buddy, why don't we just use a crossbow? Why don't we just use a crossbow? We have the crossbow. Just use the crossbow and shoot the thing down. We got arrows, I think. We got arrows on the other side. Just use it. Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw a rope at the balloon and then pull it down to the ground with us? Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And it could take us a very long time as well. True. Perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? Thank you. Just use the crossbow. Literally, we have this, and we got the Quipper thing. What does it do? Let me talk to you. To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? This was found at the scene, in fact. Said, about the movie that may work. And that's not a skill issue. And plus, even then, the guy ain't even here anyway. And he's more likely to be claimed for a murder, so he'll be alright. We'll give him his money when he goes to jail. If it comes down to it. He'll be fine. In all likelihood, belongs to Mr. Drebber. If the man had only brought it all the way with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. And that is very true, sadly. I don't know why he didn't do it. Who's going to use it, though? So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? Ah, what the? I think that's supposed to be for... Yeah, so I was right. Enoch Drebber was the dude that wanted the thing, because he just wanted the other thing in return. A waxwork? What's with these waxworks every time? Alright. A mess that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. And I'm about to go out there and let people know. I gotta let them know I'll be streaming a few. If it doesn't stop around here, I'm stopping the stream and then I gotta do a thing for Twitch, I guess. So we can't see the face inside, that means. Just a moment. This is the head of the waxwork model. Does that mean... Oh, good goodness. I see you've joined the dots, Mr. Sato. Excellent. Ah, of course. A headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Two-Spell's model that you largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was missing. Indeed, it was. But I believe Madame Two-Spells will now have to settle her sizable accounts with me. She'll be fine. This, as you now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yeah, if it goes out there in the chest here, then I'm good. If not, I gotta stop, because I gotta do something at 7. I have to. Yes. But why is it here? This conclusive confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Two-Spells and returning it since hits earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber. This is incredible. Professor Hairbrain's case and the waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure. The architect? You mean Mr. Drebber? As it seems it's quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights. Obviously, that man must still be here in this room. What? His location should be abundantly clear. Yeah, the safe. Can we just go open the safe? That's all we need to do is open the safe. If you simply reflect on the journey we made together during this abduction. Now, Drebber is right here somewhere in this room. So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. Drebber hiding place must be the large safe that's right in our face.
Take that!
I ain't gonna lie. If he was right behind us, I'm not gonna lie, we all suck. He would all suck. I ain't gonna lie. I would have been crashing out and be like, well, y'all suck at y'all job. Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here, which tells us the engineer was still in the building at the point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe, and pressed for time, made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process, from which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently, indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is at this very moment inside the safe. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deductions of this topsy-turvy puzzle. Now come out of there, buddy. We gotta talk to you. Dungeon complete elementary. Let's go. At this point, I might as well be an elementary student with that now. Every time I gotta say elementary. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see. The combination was 432582. I knew that. All right then. Here goes. Nah, you didn't know. Yeah, he didn't know. You found me. What the? Why does this dude feel like that dude from Baki? What the? Hey, yo, you good? Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Trevor, I presume. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but correct. You better start talking. You tricked the Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built. And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Two Spells as well. Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate? Your parcel? I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in the most prominent position. Why couldn't we just deactivate this first? Ah! Ha ha ha, I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me then. No! Oh, brother. Can you explain the safe? Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare. I'm not gonna lie, just put it in the safe. Just put it in the safe. Bob, put it in the safe. Close it. Make sure you lock it good. Boom. That's all you need to do. That was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already. Are you trying to help get us a killer or get us killed? Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they? Makes sense. I guess makes sense. Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say. Anti-gravity devices don't exist! Who? I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. He might make that thing blow up. I ain't gonna lie. Look, as much as I'm close to it, I'm gonna stop it here, because I did say I was gonna help Caleb with something for my hero, and I'm gonna do that now. I'll stop stream here, you know, say, look, and plus it'll help me go out there, because I can just go out there and do the other thing. His theme is good though. As long as I hear the doo, I'm good. Once I'm close to it, I will hurry up and go ahead and just save it here. So after that, we can go out there. I think we got a trial, or unless we're doing some other nonsense, and then we go from there. So we're gonna cook, see how that goes. But yeah, y'all, we are going to stop it here. I will see y'all tomorrow though. We will still be doing this game, trying to get out the way. But yeah, I shall see y'all then though. Peace and love y'all.